Police Zaku. What's up, kabar everybody? Welcome back to another video. This time we're gonna take a look at the Police Zaku from the GQuuuuuuX Gundam anime show. But before that, I would really appreciate it that if you like the content that I make, that you give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, because you know what? It really does help a lot. Thank you very much. Okay, now let's look at the Police Zaku. Alright, let's look at the box, shall we? On the front, as usual, you can see some beautiful artwork of the Police Zaku. On the bottom, there are some poses and artwork of the built and painted version of the Zaku. On the other side, there is another picture of the Zaku painted and unpainted from the front and from the rear. And like the GQuuuuuuX Gundam, there's a small little box where you can see the unpainted version, which I think is silly to put it in a small box like that. On the side, you can see a horizontal version of the artwork from the front. And then on the other side, there is a vertical version of the artwork that you have on the front, for people who want to display their boxes vertically. All right, let's look at the contents. We have one bag, two bags, three bags. Here we have runner A, then we have the B runner, the C runner, which is also all in the same color. Can you see that? Then there's the D runner in a lighter blue. Here's the E runner. Here's runner F. Can you see that? Why doesn't it focus? This is runner F. And here is runner G, runner H. And here are some stickers. For those who like to use them, you can do that. I think I'm gonna use them for some. I'm really curious about the sticker on the shield. I usually don't mind for an HG to use the stickers, but if it is really crap, then I might just search for how do you call them? The water slides. All right, that's it for the runners. It's time to build them. All right, everybody, here is the Police Zaku all built up. I have to say this was quite an interesting build, especially around the leg parts over here, because as you can imagine, these are really different than your typical Zaku designs. And with that comes something different with the build. So that was quite interesting. Yeah, but overall it was a very fun build. And just like with the GQuuuuuuX, it's just a very different change of pace. You know, it's not your typical Gundam or Zaku model kit. So yeah, it's like building something else from Bandai, which is positive to me. So yeah, let's look at what it comes with. As you can see, it comes with the typical, well, not typical, but with a very beautiful Zaku machine gun, very nice. Also, it comes with two of the weapon holding hands, and one over here, of course, the weapon holding hand. It also comes with a very nice shield. As you can see, I've also used a sticker for this, which looks fine to me. You know, it's not a water slide, but what do you expect, you know? If you expect this level of stickerness, if you can imagine, if you can call it that, then it's fine, right? It also comes with, how do you call this? An electric baton? Baton? How do you say that? It's nothing really special, but it's nice to have. You can attach it on this little part over here. Nicely stored. You also get an open hand. And you also get an axe, which every Zaku should have, of course. Very, very nice. All right. That's it for all the accessories. Let's look at the articulation. If you look at the head, you can articulate it a bit. If you have it loose, now it's quite deeply attached to the neck, but if you loosen it up a little bit, then you can look quite far to the sides, almost like almost 360 degrees. Well, you can turn it 360 degrees. Look, just make sure it's not too tight on the neck. Then it's fine. Looking at the arms and shoulders, you can rotate this shield over here on his shoulder, like so. Oh, like so and like so. You can rotate it, well, can you? You can't really move it up and down. It's impossible. You can detach it though, see? You might be able to attach something else here for some custom builds. If you have the shield detached, you can move the arm quite far up, as you can see. With shield, it will be blocked. Just for the sake of showing you, just look at this. It doesn't go really far. All right, looking at the rotation of the arm, it can go 360 degrees like this. And you can also move, let me detach the shield first. You can also move the upper arm like so, 360 degrees. Then you have the elbow. You can move it like so. It's decent, right? Then of course you have the hand. I didn't, well, this is not the right hand, but you know, it's a ball joint. You can rotate it 360 degrees, right? Nothing special. All right, same goes for the other side, by the way. I mean, you can't really move the shoulder far up because of the pauldron or the shoulder shield or whatever you call it. So yeah, that's a bummer. It really doesn't help with posing if you have the shields on his shoulders. But without it, you can do all kinds of stuff. You know, it's nice. Okay, then let me see. You have the torso. You can rotate it, I think, 360 degrees. Yeah. It has some ab crunch, not a lot. It can't really move sideways, as you can see. Then we have the legs, which is very interesting. It can go quite far up to the front and also quite far to the back. It doesn't go really far to the side though. I mean, this is as far as I can go to the side. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to force it to do a split or whatever, because I think then I will break the joint, and I don't want that. So yeah, movement on the legs are limited. Okay. You have a double jointed knee over here. It's not really a typical double jointed knee, but it is a bit double jointed because you can rotate, you know, like you can rotate this part, see? But you can also rotate this part. So it's a unique type of knee. It's not your typical knee. But we already know this is not the typical Zaku. You have some rotation on the ankle. Well, some you can rotate it 360 degrees. 360 degrees. You can, it has some swivel. You know, it has enough swivel to make it look like it has strained its ankle. I think this is a really important thing to maneuver because, well, yeah, it doesn't have a lot of flexibility to do any dynamic poses. So at least having this is nice, you know. It cannot rotate anything here or on the bottom, you know, like it's stuck. Okay, then you have the thrusters. The only thruster that you can really move is in his backside. The other thrusters are fixed in place. You cannot do anything with them. Also, the front thruster is fixed in place. Speaking of the front thruster, tell me I'm not the only one who thinks this looks like a small peepee. Come on. I mean, literally, the designer of the Zaku must have known this looks like a peepee. It must have been deliberate. I mean, why else would you put a thruster exactly here? It must be a deliberate choice, right? Or am I the only one? Well, at least it can shoot stuff from the front thruster. Anyway, enough of that. That's it for the articulation. Let me attach this again. Yeah, so let's look at how this compares in size with other Gunpla. All right, let's look at the size comparison. Here it is next to the Gundam GQuuuuuuX. Here it is next to the Gundam Aerial. Here it is next to the Master Grade SD Freedom. Here it is next to the Master Grade Furkan Narrative Gundam. And here it is next to the Perfect Grade Strike Freedom Gundam. Sorry, I had to adjust the camera a little bit because of the size of the Perfect Grade, of course. Anyway, that's it for the size comparison. What are my thoughts? 1 second. Okay, that's better. What are my thoughts? I think the Police Zaku is a very nice model kit to build. It is, like I told you in the beginning of the video, a nice change of pace, right? The build is different. It's not your typical Zaku. It's not your typical Gundam, like with the GQuuuuuuX model kit. It's just nice. Nice, and it's different, okay? Design-wise, well, I think that's different for every person. To me, I really like the design. I don't like the design in terms of mobility and flexibility for the model kit itself, but I think the chunkiness of the legs and the whole body of this Zaku, I think it's awesome to me. I also understand that if you don't like this kind of design, I mean, I can imagine it's something to get used to, if you want to get used to it at least. Well, now is the question, do I recommend this model kit? Let me say it this way. This is a new type of model kit, right? It's like I said again, it's not your typical Gundam or Zaku experience when building it. So only for that reason, this is a recommendation. If you like the design or not, maybe during the building process you get some kind of how do you call this, appreciation for the design. At least sometimes I have that experience that I don't really like a design, but when I start building it, I start to, well, I start to like the design more and more and more. In my opinion, just give it a try. If you have seen the anime, then I think it's easier to decide if you want to buy this or not, because yeah, it's very easy. If you have watched the show, you get hyped, then you want to buy the model kits presented in that show, right? So I have that right now, and especially with this show, the GQuuuuuuX Gundam anime show is awesome. It's even mind-blowing. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it is a really highly recommended show. We all know it's not your typical Gundam, but that has reasons. Okay? The only way to find out what the reason is by watching the show. So watch it and then decide if you like it or not. Don't decide that you like it or not before watching it. I mean, come on, man. You know better than this. Alright, everybody? Thank you very much for watching this video. Thanks for sticking with me. If you've enjoyed everything what I've done until now, then please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, because it really helps me a lot with growing and doing all kinds of stuff. So if you like model kits, plastic figurines, action figures, or resin statues, then subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. See you later!